Welcome back to FireX 2023. We're in the FIA Garden Bar. We've got a fire engine behind us. It's serving liquid, but liquid refreshment rather than putting out fires. I'm also joined here by Andy Speake, who is National Technical Manager at Aico, and also, most pertinent to the conversation, I'm hoping to have the FFIA's IoT Special Interest Group. You sit on that. You've been helping to shape that for a year or so now,
yeah,
is it?
it's been ongoing for over a year now.
Okay.
So it started off as a SIG, Special Interest Group.
Yeah.
It's evolved because a SIG would normally be developed and created to resolve a particular issue.
Yep.
This is not. This is ongoing. It's only going to grow. So we've kind of renamed it, rebranded it, broadened the scope. It's now the IoT Forum.
Yeah.
Because it is ongoing. It's unlike some of the councils we have within the FIA, which you would normally get voted on. This is open to any FIA members if they're interested in learning about IoT, whether they're active in developing their own products, maybe a combination of both. That's the forum to be in, and it's massive.
Okay.
It's one of the largest attended groups we have ongoing within the FIA.
Well, let's set that up as a topic then, as a concept. So IoT, Internet of Things, stuff that is connected, not necessarily to the internet, but certainly to a network that's got the ability to sense, sometimes to control as well. That's being used all over the shop, even in the context of this event, smart buildings and so on. Whereabouts is it though when it comes to fire and fire safety? Because there's been a sense that for whatever reason, maybe a little bit of a reluctance or slowness to adopt some of these new technologies.
I think it's fair to say. I don't think it's a reluctance, but it is a heavy regulated industry. We are governed by standards. Not just through the CPR, but in general, it's the life safety products, the fire industry, the fire safety products. So standardization, regulation is massive. And with that, there could be a slight delay in pushing out. But I say that, it is moving on. I think based on the attendees in the IoT Forum, we've got members from all different areas, whether they be manufacturers, fire detection, of digital side of things. Logbooks is another popular one. Then, of course, you've got your cyber element that impacts all of that, whether it be log keeping, whether it be data extraction. You mentioned as well about triggering something as well. So the moment your device is connected, there's many applications on that as well that we can go into really. But yeah, that's probably a fair reason as to what could be it.
So let's talk about, you say there's not a reluctance. In your experience, are people, particularly in this industry, do they feel safer and more assured when there's a cable going into things, when it's powered by the mains, rather than relying on some wireless technology that you can't see, you can't touch, and there's also a battery in there as well? Because that is a change of mindset, certainly, from some of the more established technology.
I think there's a combination of the two, I think would be fair to say. Yes, there are people, individuals, certainly consumers who might be a little bit more wary of a connected device. Certainly from an industry perspective, I think we're massively seeing the value in that, and everybody's seeing the future of it. We can see it's also kind of working out how that sits, how to do it safely. The moment you connect something to the internet, obviously the security element, that cyber element is massive, whether that be impacting the system, whether that be a fire detection alarm system, or maybe is a compromise to additional systems within the property. So yeah, I think for the most part, everybody's seen the value, but with education, that will hopefully help assure people that with the new connected systems, we're not going to have security issues and things like that.
Well, I mean, so yeah, and on that cybersecurity point as well, we've seen the Product Safety Telecommunications Infrastructure Act given royal assent. That is now happening, and that's a good thing, certainly from the consumer point of view, but also from the industry point of view as well, to make sure that you are basic security, basic support, basic notification of any potential incidents there as well. So that acts as a reassurance to those maybe who are concerned about the cyber element they're opening themselves up to.
One thing we've set up since the IoT Forum's been established is a partnership, a relationship with BSI. So BSI offer their IoT kite mark. It was a relatively new kite mark. It's it's kind of a combination. It's born out of various different standards being amalgamated together, and it's not just like a product standard. It goes from the full design concept. Of course, it covers data. For example, let's use an alarm. It would cover the data from a fire alarm all the way through to the actual cloud, and then maybe to the consumer's device. BSI will continue doing audits. So through the IoT Forum, we massively see the value of this kite mark. And we've got a partnership where any of our members can have a discount through the FIA website. So that's really, really positive. And that's just a start. I can see this extending into other areas of not out broader than IoT within the industry. So that's good.
So just before we wrap up, in terms of what happens next, you've got the forum, there's momentum building in there, some of the reassurances, some of the controls, legislations coming in to support what happens next. Where do you hope the forum helps to steer the industry next, maybe?
Yeah, great question. Many areas. So just to very quickly give you a quick summary of how the forum operates. We have the forum, we meet quarterly. Within that forum, we have working groups. Those working groups will be focused on a particular topic, cyber, for example, digital logbooks and just data in particular. So within those working groups, they're very much self-managed. They can meet as regularly as they like. So that's great. But hopefully through that, we can steer standards. We can help to be involved. We've also got liaison with the security industry as well. So we're meeting them regularly. We're inviting different industries who are also facing similar problems or challenges to what we are to present. So whether you're active in IoT, curious, but you're in any way involved in fire, this is definitely the place to be. So highly recommend it.
Andy, we'll leave it there. Fascinating to chat, and I wish you all the very best with the forum in the next 12 or 18 months. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Pleasure.